the debrief. Here is what to expect, the basics of what the debrief actually is. So you're done with your lesson, okay? The 45 minutes is up, or the 30 minutes, or whatever it is. They say, thank you so much for coming. And you say, thank you, everyone. And you awkwardly take your charts down and collect the papers. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you're all red in the face and you're embarrassed. And you're taking your bags and you're walking out of the room. What happens is the adults who are just observing are going to go into a room. This happens almost all the time. They're going to go into a room and they're all going to talk about what they just saw. They're going to say what went well, they're going to say what didn't go well, and they're going to say what feedback they have for you. You want to be ready for that. So during those few minutes, you want to be thinking about what went well and what you would do differently next time. So just imagine, you might be standing in the hallway, waiting to go inside. You might be sitting in the office. All you're thinking about after that lesson is over is what went well and what you would do differently next time. And you want to be going through the student work and actually looking at what they did. Okay? Why? Because that is the first thing that they're going to ask you. They're going to say, so how do you feel like the lesson went? Like, I mean, almost every time that's the first thing that they ask. They want to know that you saw what they saw. Okay? They're going to give you some feedback. Some of that feedback might be hard to hear. Nobody, I mean, you're going to be defensive. You're going to want to be defensive because teaching a demo lesson is extremely challenging. You don't know any of these administrators. You don't know any of them. You don't know if they've even taught before. So it's kind of hard to hear feedback from people that you don't even know at all. But you have to be appreciative for the feedback anyway and be respectful. It's tough. So when they tell you about some suggestions that they have for how to improve your lesson, you are reflective, you appreciate the feedback, and just consider it. Why? Because honestly, most of the time, the feedback that they're going to give you is going to be valuable. Even if it doesn't work, it's always good to try new things. So just be appreciative and respectful when they give you feedback. Show that you are reflective and show that you have a growth mindset. If they ask you about student outcomes, you want to, don't guess, you want to just use the actual student work that you have in front of you to support your answers. So if they say, what percentage of your students do you feel like mastered the objective? Don't say, I feel like, just look down at the work and actually go through it. You don't have to go through it. Don't take 10 minutes or anything, but just go through each one and just glance at it and tell them what your thought process is like for going through the student work. And the reason being, basically, they see you doing that. And first of all, that's just best practices. You should be doing that every day. You should be looking through your student work, but in that way. But also, if they see you doing that in the demo lesson, then they're going to be imagining that you're doing that on a day-to-day basis if you're teaching at their school. Don't be defensive. You know you want to be. You know you want to be. Don't do it. If they see that, they're not going to like it. They're not going to hire you, no matter how good your lesson was. Don't guess about student outcomes. Just look at the data. Look at the student work for your answers. And don't make excuses. Don't play the blame game. By that, I mean, you're not going to mention the fact that, well, you know, I only had 45 minutes, or I didn't know the students. I feel like this went wrong and this went wrong because, you know, I'm not used to working with this population. Those are all excuses. That's all blame game. Don't do it. Every single teacher that comes to do a demo lesson at that school has the same set of circumstances. So you can think that, but don't say it out loud, not during the debrief. The name of the game, basically, mastering the debrief is all about being reflective about the lesson that you just taught, being humble about the outcomes, and being open to feedback. That's what it's all about. That's what they're looking for during the debrief. And even if your demo lesson is a complete disaster, if you do those 3 things, you're still in really good shape. So now just some additional resources. If you liked this course, we have a number of other courses on our website. We have courses related to classroom management that I mentioned before. Several of them on mindfulness, on establishing a positive presence, and on how to handle challenging student behaviors. And then we also have a course on how to make an amazing teacher resume, and then some other resources for the demo as well. Then a number of other resources. We have free resume review. We have our school matching platform. So if you are looking for a teaching job, this is the site that you need to use. It's completely free for teachers. It takes 10 minutes to fill out a profile. It's a no-brainer. It's just, I would 100% use it if I were still teaching. And then we also have a number of articles written by our coaches and by other experts related to TPA, also classroom management, mindfulness, interview strategies, tips on the demo lesson, tips on resume writing, everything that you could imagine that's related to your job search or teaching. We have an article on. And then, yep, that's it. So all of these resources are available to you for free if you go to our website at getselected.com, and I hope you do. And we hope to see you soon for the next course or the next webinar. All right, I hope you enjoyed this course, and good luck, everybody, at your next demo lesson.